about a year and a half ago, I kind of freaked out. Everything in my church was going great, you know. The church was growing. I loved my staff. I actually even loved the people. And so it wasn't one of those times where everything was falling apart and I just freaked out. It was like everything was going so well. But don't you sometimes just wonder if this is all a joke? Like, we're doing everything wrong. Like sometimes, what I mean is sometimes I'll read this book. I'll read the Bible when I'm alone, no one else, just God and I, and I'll read this book, and I'll read about the way Christianity was and followers of Christ were, and then I'll look at the church and go, man, I don't even know where to start. I really don't. And so then you go, well, you know, everyone at church seems okay with it, so then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I can just blend back in. Everyone else is fine with it. One night, I'm laying in bed with my wife, and I'm reading scripture that day, and I'm just going, you know, I said, honey, if Jesus had a church in Simi Valley, I bet you mine would be bigger. I bet you more people would go to Cornerstone. If the Apostle Paul had a church in Simi Valley, I bet you mine would be bigger. In fact, I bet you people would leave Jesus' church and come to mine, because I'm not telling them this stuff like, you know what, hey, you better hate your father. I mean, whenever there was a crowd, Jesus would just thin it out with this statement and this message to where all these people would leave, you know? See, and I'm a better communicator than him. Because when I speak, more people come, and I know how to keep them. Man, I know how to say the hard things and yet still keep them. And it was bugging me. I'm going, wait a second, so then what in the world is this all about? And I just started thinking, do I really say everything that Jesus tells me to say? I mean, really? Am I really trying to become like Jesus in the way that I communicate, in the way that I live, in the commitment that I call for? My favorite quote, John Piper. He says, the critical question for our generation and for every generation is this: if you could have heaven with no sickness and with all the friends you ever had on earth and all the food you ever liked and all the leisure activities you ever enjoyed and all the natural beauties you ever saw, all the physical pleasures you ever tasted, and no human conflict or any natural disasters, could you be satisfied with heaven if Christ was not there? Question, are you in love with heaven? Are you in love with forgiveness? Are you in love with this concept of God? Or are you truly just madly in love with the person of Jesus Christ? That you keep talking to him, that you adore him, you can't wait for him to return. See, real ministry takes place through real ministers whose lives live it. Man, who do I want discipling my daughter? Someone who's in love with Jesus. In love with Jesus. I don't care how gifted you are, but you love him so much, you're talking to him all the time. In fact, Mercy, can you come up here real quick? I just want to close with this. This is my 7-year-old Mercy. Hey, baby. I just got to ask you, does your relationship with God look anything like this?